Welcome back to my channel, ASMR with Neve. Today we are going to be doing another useless facts that you didn't need to know video. I really love making these and finding out new facts. And honestly, recently, some of the facts I've done in this video have come up in like quizzes and stuff, like at my work and at other places I've been to. So it's actually really handy learning some of these facts, and some of them are really cool. So I hope you enjoy. So the first fact is that chalk is actually edible. I thought this was super weird, but also like I would not want to eat chalk, and I don't know like who was eating chalk to find this out, because that sounds really nasty to me. So, but you can eat it if you wanted to. You can eat chalk. The Eiffel Tower can grow up to 15 centimeters during summer, and I think this is to do with the way the heat reacts with the metal, like the structure. So it actually like gets a little bit taller, which is a cool fact to know. There is a greater chance for you to die on your way to buying a lottery ticket than of you actually winning the lottery. This makes me sad because I love entering the lottery. I never have won. The only thing I've won is like another free ticket to the next one. But I just think there's something quite fun about checking if your numbers have won and like picking the numbers and stuff. But I don't enter every week because otherwise I would just be wasting a lot of money. But you never know, you might win. But I guess the chances aren't very high. Hawaii moves 7.5 centimeters closer to Alaska every year. I wonder how long it will take. Probably billions of years, right, for it to actually meet, but that's quite interesting. The chills you get when listening to music are caused by your brain releasing a dopamine, a neurotransmitter that causes pleasure. The brain releases these feel-good hormones during sex and eating as well, so you get the same sort of thrills from all three of those. Barbed wire was invented in 1845. That was responsible for putting cowboys out of business since it provided cheap and easy fencing. I didn't actually know that. I just thought cowboys just stopped being a thing, but of course there was a reason why. About 20% of Earth's oxygen is produced by the Amazon rainforest, and this is why we need to protect our rainforests. If you lift a kangaroo's tail off the ground, it cannot jump. I would love to see this like proved, but then also I feel like it's probably quite mean to do to a kangaroo, but like that's super interesting. Music, classical in particular, can help plants grow faster according to a 2007 study. It would take a sloth 1 month to travel for 1 mile. I can't believe how slow sloths are. Like, it's actually insane. Like, it's so cute though. Life on Earth won't exist in 2.3 billion years because it will be too hot for it. That's sad. Bananas are very effective in replenishing electrolytes. They also have chemicals that make you feel happy. I love bananas. Like, I love a good, say you've had breakfast and you're still a bit hungry, so I'm gonna have a banana. There is music made especially for cats. It seems like cats develop their taste in music pretty soon after they are born. I've never tested that. I lived with cats last year, but I never liked them, cat music, so I think I missed a trick there. There was a lawsuit that took place trying to prove that Pringles aren't actually potato chips. I wonder what the outcome was, because they are crisps, like 100% they're crisps. They've got a lot of salt on them though, right? Like, that's why they're so, like, I'm just gonna say dangerous. Like, if I buy a tube of Pringles, like, I just can't resist like going back for more, one more. So I do try to avoid them, but sometimes, you know, if you're on a plane and they do the little ones that are like this big, they're a dead good snack. The first written instance of OMG that we know of was a letter to Winston Churchill in 1917. Playing electronic dance music can help to ward off mosquitoes. That's a great tip. I hate being bugged by bugs. It's so annoying. Simply taking just one step uses over 200 muscles in the body. 1 in 5 country songs, country style songs, refers to alcohol. 1 in 3 to tears, and 1 in 7 to mama. Yeah, I feel like a lot of country songs are about drinking or women trying to get a girl type thing. During World War II, Oscars were made of painted plaster due to the metal shortage. It was done for 3 years. 10% of the world's population are left-handed. I am right-handed, actually, and so are all my immediate family as well. And every year, more than 2,500 left-handed people are killed from using right-handed products. I was so intrigued by this. I was thinking, what does that mean? Scissors, because you can get left-handed and right-handed scissors. I don't know, but yeah. A snail can sleep for more than 3 years at a time. God, I am jealous. I absolutely love sleeping. I slept for 12 hours last night because I'd only had 3 hours sleep the night before, and it was so nice. And then I was awake for an hour, and then I went back to sleep for an hour. So I had 13 hours sleep last night. Love it. I could do 3 years. I would feel so refreshed and amazing. There are only 2 countries in the world where you can't buy Coca-Cola: Cuba and North Korea. God, they've really dominated the whole world, haven't they? The average person walks the equivalent of 5 laps around the world during their lifetime. That's insane. I pride myself on having a really high step count. My step count for 2021 was 11,800 a day on average. So I reckon I will do more than 5 laps around the world in my lifetime because I walk everywhere. I can't drive yet, so I just walk everywhere and I just do loads of steps. And I've got a dog and I'm on my feet all day at work, so I just end up doing loads and loads of steps. Only 2% of the world's population has green eyes. I didn't know that they were this rare. I really love green eyes. I think they're gorgeous. I mean, I think all eyes are lovely, but when I was younger, I used to hate having brown eyes, and I wanted blue or green eyes because I just thought they looked nicer. But now that I'm older, I do appreciate having brown eyes and eyes as well. I feel all eyes are nice, and all eyes suit the person that has them anyway. So yeah. Ernest writes 1939 novel Gatsby does not contain the letter E. I don't understand so many words have the letter E in. I thought it was the most common letter in the alphabet, and I don't know whether he did this on purpose or if it was a coincidence, but surely it can't be a coincidence because E is, it's a vowel, it's such a common letter. Bees have 5 eyes, 3 small eyes on the top of their head and 2 larger ones in the front. Pirates wore eye patches so their eyes would always be acclimated to the darkness, allowing them to see in the darkness below decks in an instant. I have never questioned why pirates wore eye patches. I just thought it was cool, cool eye patch, or thought maybe they all had eye injuries from all the fighting they were doing and stuff. But that is interesting to know. The life expectancy of a human eyelash is 150 days. That's longer than I thought anyway. Bluetooth is actually named after the 10th century Scandinavian king Harald Bluetooth Gormson. Yeah, I thought there was a bit more to that fact, but that is literally it. I wonder why, because it obviously wasn't made in the 10th century. So I wonder who decided to than those countries with left-handed traffic. 141 countries use right and 54 use left on roads in general. The UK, we drive on the left-hand side of the road. But yeah, it is more common to drive on the right. Like most places that you go in Europe, you would drive on the right. Like whenever we go to Spain, my mum will hire like a car, and when she gets out the airport, like it's always so stressful because we get to this huge roundabout and you have to go the other way around the roundabout, and like it's just like I don't think I would be able to like drive on the right hand side. Yeah, I'm still learning to drive on the left hand side, so like I know in Europe you have to have driven for 3 years, I think it's 3 years, and you have to be over 21 to be able to drive and hire a car anyway, and I think that makes sense. I think that's fair enough. The Hawaiian language has only 12 consonants and 5 vowels. That is really not, so they have 17 letters, but I guess we have 26 letters, so it's not like crazy, and it might make the language easier to learn, I guess. I don't know. The microwave was invented by accident. Engineer Percy Spencer walked by a radar set and the candy bar in his pocket melted. That's really cool. Just 23% of released prisoners stay out of prison. Sony's first product was the electrical rice cooker. I didn't know that Sony did like kitchen things. I thought they were just like TV speakers, that kind of thing. So that was something I really didn't know before. Avocados are a fruit, not a vegetable. They're technically considered a single-seeded berry, believe it or not. I think I would have guessed a fruit because like I know that tomatoes are fruits, like things with seeds in are considered fruits. So yeah, and like I keep mine in the fruit bowl. Australia is wider than the moon. The moon sits at 3,400 kilometres in diameter, while Australia's diameter from east to west is almost 4,000 kilometres. That's interesting. I always just thought the moon would be bigger than any country because like it's the moon, but that's really interesting. Human teeth are the only part of the body that cannot heal themselves. Teeth are coated in enamel, which is not a living tissue. It's illegal to own just one guinea pig in Switzerland. It's considered animal abuse because they're social beings and get lonely. We used to have guinea pigs. We had 2 guinea pigs. And I remember when we got them, like we were advised that it's better to get 2. And I know like when one of them died, the other one like was dead sad and mopey, and like she did live for a bit afterwards, but I think she definitely did not like being on her own. Like I tried to cuddle her more and stuff, but it's not the same as having an actual companion like another guinea pig. Amy Fowler was only 7 years older than Rachel McAdams when she took on the role of cool mom in Mean Girls. Rachel was 25 as Regina George and Amy was 32 as Emma. I'm not gonna lie, like she looks way older than that in the film. Like she looks like 35, 36, and like Regina does look younger than 25, definitely, like maybe 18 or something. People are more creative in the shower. When we take a warm shower, we experience an increased dopamine flow that makes us more creative. I always sing in the shower or watch telly, like I'll put my laptop on and like watch EastEnders or something whilst I'm in the shower. Like I hate just being bored in the shower, especially like if I'm doing a hair wash and stuff, like I'm in there for longer. If I'm just doing a body wash, then I probably won't like watch anything. But yeah, that's interesting to know that you're actually more creative. Maybe that is why we sing in the shower. We get a bit creative and we're like, oh yeah, let's have a sing now. There's only one letter that doesn't appear in any American state name. There's a Z in Arizona and an X in Texas, but no Q in any of them. This question came up recently I think it was on like a TV show or something, and me and my mum were like trying to figure it out, and I couldn't. I was like, oh, we were like eggs, and I was like, no, Texas. And she was like, no, there's like North Arizona, South. Is it North and South? I don't know. Anyway, Arizona. And then we were thinking about Cube, and then I was like, oh, I couldn't think, and I don't know all the American states, I'm not gonna lie. I think I could name a good portion of them, and I've done that thing before, you know, like in Friends when they try and list all 50 states. I did that before, but I definitely did not get them all. I think maybe like I could probably name like 40, if that, to be honest. Cats sleep 16 to 18 hours a day. Jealous, love that for them. Karaoke means empty orchestra in Japanese. That's nice, I like that fact. The first known contraceptive was crocodile dung, used by Egyptians in 2000 BC. That's so weird. Like, I don't even understand. I don't even want to think about like what they did with it or how they made it work. When you die, your hair still grows for a couple of months. I don't like that. I do not like that at all. Diet Coke was only invented in 1982. I don't really like Diet Coke. I prefer Coke Zero. But if I was gonna get a Diet Coke, I'd get like a Pepsi instead, a Diet Pepsi or a Pepsi Max. Flying from London to New York by Concorde, due to the time zones crossed, you can arrive 2 hours before you leave. That's so cool. Yeah, because America's is like 8 hours behind us. So I guess if you got a fast flight, you could like not have passed any time. But then on the way back, you would lose like pretty much like a whole day, right? Like 16 hours. A lion's roar can be heard from 5 miles away. Wow, that's really loud. Minus 40 degrees Celsius is exactly the same as minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. I do not understand Fahrenheit. I literally never understand it. Like when I watch American TV shows and films or whatever, and they're like, oh my god, it's 40 degrees, like it's so cold. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Because here, like 0 degrees is freezing, and then like 28 degrees is hot.